This is Scott Becker with the Becker Private Equity and Business Podcast. Today's discussion is really three quick parts. One, nobody rides for free. Second, find your niches. And third, startups are an evolution. So here is part of the lesson for today. I get a chance to work with lots of startup software companies, lots of startup founders. And there's this concept, particularly in software, of the sort of test pilot version, the beta version. And one of the great challenges is it's hard enough to get somebody to test pilot your software, but at some point you've got to get to the situation where that pilot has to turn into a paying customer. So whatever you're doing, there's a theory you can give away what you're doing for some period of time till you gain traction and gain some reputation and gain some business like experience with your customers. But at some point, you've got to come back to the concept of nobody rides for free. And that means at some point, everybody at some point has to turn into a paying customer unless there's some strong reason why they're not a paying customer. But so the first concept today is nobody rides for free, or at least not for too long. The second concept to work with is the constant evolution, particularly in a developing business, of this concept of constantly evolving defines your product market fit, what your business loves to do, and what's really solving a pain point for your customers. One of the things I loved that I saw this morning was this concept: if people aren't paying for what you do, ultimately you've got a hobby, not a business. You've got a toy, not a business. And I think this goes hand in hand with the concept of constantly evolving to find the market fit of where people will pay for what you're doing and what you want to do or what your business does. And the concept of over time, if it's going to be a business, nobody rides for free. The third concept we'll talk about is this concept of constantly niching out what you do. And I saw brilliant writing on this today from Alex Hormozi, which he's got some brilliant stuff. Love him or hate him, I don't care. He's got some brilliant stuff. One of his concepts was the different values that you could do for something as you get clearer and clearer about the niche that you're serving. So, for example, if you're a business to consumer media company, you have to be so broad to win to be an attractive platform. If you narrow yourself down to business, you've made one narrowing down where you've got more value because you know you're selling to other business customers. If that narrow down further, like we did at Becker's Healthcare, to say we're business to business, but we really, the audience we serve is hospitals and health systems, for example. Now you've narrowed down further, so there's more value. And the lesson here is in every business you're in, sort of that at some point you've got to niche down further and further to have greater value. I think this is right on. So the three concepts today are nobody rides for free, market product fit is a constant evolution. And then finally, the more that you niche down, the more value there is. That's the concept for today. Thank you for listening to the Becker Private Equity and Business Podcast. Always feel free to join us on business-to-business sponsored webinars. Love to have you. Contact Scott Becker for more information. Thank you.